Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We are going into the second semi-final match of the day, and this will be between the two infamous teams that are going to be Infamous Spectre and Infamous Legion. They came out of both their respective brackets, the number one seed, making it through to this stage of the competition. But we will have to see one of them go out today, then maybe recruit to compete with this infamous powerhouse so far.
Yeah, and definitely all the bands are now locked in. We've got Rev on the Vox, and Castro on the Koshka, and Rasco on the Catherine, with Firm Swift on the Arden, Spaghetti on his beloved Sky, and Cassandra on that lane Ringo. So a pretty good matchup here. Very strong from both teams, I think.
Spaghetti is definitely one of the ones I've been hearing as a very feared Sky player. He's a slippery character.
Yeah, and I think really what makes Sky dangerous is the mobility factor, the ability to kite around and focus on somebody. So when you have somebody like Vox who needs to stay kind of behind his front line, somebody like Spaghetti can just completely Surrey strike around the front line, around the two melee characters, and get at Vox really easily. Whereas on the other side, Ringo again on his side has to stay back and kind of because he's squishy and easy to get focused on. But Catherine and Koshka can jump in there very easily. They got really nice stopgap and stuns. So it'll be up to Arden to really kind of save him, keep an eye on Cassandra, keeping him alive.
Definitely. We do see it looks like Sky and Arden are the first ones to finish their rotation. They're going to try and be aggressive off the back of this. And playing Sky into Catherine, you just see how Catherine's health gets absolutely melted. Halcyon posting just saving her for now, though. It looks like they're turning onto the
comes,
and Arden come down.
Castro gets deleted and isolated there, but here comes Cassandra at TV1, but he's going to have that distance to get away from that and takes down Rasco. Look at the melt on Rev. Spaghetti coming in. He's going to secure this kill. If he can get a couple more shots in. Not quite. He did get it. Oh, the Surge Strike comes in and he gets the kill. Oh, he locks it down. Amazing play there from Spaghetti.
That max range Surrey Strike, obviously Surrey Strike, the target lock doesn't last as long or doesn't have as long a range at the beginning as it does in those later levels. So deciding Surrey Strike right there, that was probably the max range he had left on it. And there's another fight going out in the jungle, and it looks like Koshka is the first one to go down again. Cassandra has rotated forward to help them, and Revenger X is just pushed away from this.
Yeah, you can see Cassandra there putting on 3-4 hits, and this is why a Vox versus a Ringo matching in the lane is so tough, because he's got a longer range than Vox, and you can see right there just why. I mean, he got like 5 free hits on to Vox, and he had to just kind of run away.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's the Ringo has the early game in the lane, so he can rotate down better. And it being the battle of the early game junglers right now with Koshka against Sky, I mean, I'd say they're two of the most powerful junglers right now. And with the rotations from Ringo, it's just helping them guarantee the wins for the side of Legion right now.
Yeah, and again, I have to go back to the mobility of that Surrey Strike again, rotating around his target and ensuring he gets that barrage full on. One of the things you didn't see KLMPK, or whatever his name was in the last game. Yeah, whatever his name was the last matches, I noticed he missed quite a few barrages, and it's so important that you get that full barrage on there because they will melt.
Yeah, well, there is a big difference in this match with this guy going Crystal. Weapon does require a little bit of a different kind of play around it, but obviously you still want to be landing the skills, same as most characters. And if you don't, and you're on such a skill shot dependent hero, you're not going to be seeing a lot of success. And it looks like Spaghetti is going to be taking down either Rascal or Infamous Castro here to begin with, really deep in the enemy jungle.
Look at that, and I really like what Spaghetti did there. How he just kind of peeled off between both of those guys and managed to secure both the kills. So he went for Catherine, and then he used a move speed burst from the basic attack from Sky to get around to Koshka as well.
Now, what I would say is that it all really hinges on Cassandra being so aggressive in the lane as well. If he wasn't, then there would be pressure from Vox rotating backwards, but because Ringo is pushing him so much under turret, he has no opportunity to go shop or to go rotate back to help. So it's always a 2-on-2, and just Spaghetti and Firmswift are just so confident that they're going to win this jungle.
Yeah, and I mean, and really they set the tone from the beginning of the game, and that kind of let them gain some momentum there and some confidence. I think what you mentioned is really important. As a Ringo, you got to be able to bully that laner and prevent him from rotating down, and you can do that very well as a Ringo.
Yep. It looks like there has been some good vision set in by Catherine so far, but they are just going to have to teleport home. They managed to get a couple of the front camps, but there isn't much else to gain from this, and they're now caught out in the
Look at
middle of
that.
a very empty jungle.
He's going to dive in for the turn, and he gets the kill off of that basic attack. So a couple really good things there. One, Spaghetti using the basic move speed off of the minions to get into there, and then he got the Arden Vanguard. But looks like Ringo goes down. Castro dives in to get that, and he goes down as well right in front of the turret. 234 damage on Spaghetti, but he's going to shrug it off, and look at the minions stacked up on that turret now already. It's only the 5th minute.
Yeah, I know, it's incredible. Spaghetti is just the MVP so far. Rascal is just can't go anywhere near him, and neither can infamous Castro, because there's just Koshka getting melted every time she tries to jump on this guy.
Yeah, and it's really amazing because they don't have a stun. So Koshka, assassins when they jump into team fights, oftentimes if they're facing a Catherine, it's a hard because you can get stunned and then focus, but they don't have a stun here, and it's going to be Castro versus Spaghetti, who's going to take this 1v1. Castro just needs to get away from that barrage, but running right into Firm Swift, who ignores Castro to run away and kind of regroup here as they're a little split up right now.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of ignoring each other, saying, I really want to be here, I'm going to ignore everything until I get there. And that was in favor of Spectre right there, because they did manage to pick up an easy kill onto Cassandra.
And that's an important thing to remember is even though you get pushed and even though it looks like you're falling behind, take that advantage to go to an area of weakness. So if they're pushing on your side, then fine. Go to the lane, try to get that kill in the Ringo. Super long max range Merciless Pursuit there from Rascador. Just managed to get it, however. Didn't even need to use boots, but Ringo is actually not overextending there. He's pretty safe in that area, but they just really, really wanted him bad.
Yeah, what I like from the Ringo so far in his build path, though, is he has gone for those tier 2 boots. So even though he got killed, he can get back to the lane really fast. He's going to be able to rotate down as much as possible. And with Revenger X still only sitting on a heavy steel, and I think that's tier 1 boots. I can't really see. I think it's tier 1 boots down there. But he's just not going to be doing as much for his team in the jungle. Yeah, he's not doing as much for his team in the jungle as Cassandra is, who is now pressuring the turret alone.
Yeah, and a lot of this versus just a farm. He's been free to kind of farm, but Spaghetti goes down. There goes the ultimates go out. Koshka, young kind of friends, goes in, but Castro goes down as well, and Rev is getting kited on by Cassandra, who's going to take that kill there, and he does. Firmswift's in on Rascador. Look at the damage, even from Arden there, onto Rascador.
But did you notice that the Koshka locked herself down inside the death from above? I mean, that was incredible from Spaghetti to manage to get that skill exactly on top of himself just as Koshka was jumping in. So it guaranteed a kill in her favor, even like 2 or 3 seconds after he was dead.
Either he's got amazing reflexes or he realized that Koshka was probably going to go on in right away. And, maybe it is a little bit of both. But I think part of it, too, is, again, it's a familiarity with how each other plays that kind of gives him advantage in certain situations, I feel.
Yep, I also think that Spaghetti playing Skye, one of his most comfortable heroes, probably, you're right, it's probably like a reaction thing where I've done this before, I know what Koshka's going to try and do.
Yeah, and but to be fair, Koshka, that was pretty much the right move from Koshka. So the problem is that you're isolating yourself, and if you don't have Rev coming in right behind you to provide that focus fire, then it's going to be really tough because you're just going to get yourself isolated.
Yep, it looks like Legion have started this goal, but they've got all the members of Spectre coming around. It looks like they do secure that, and Castro is going down very, very fast. Firmswift has to boots away, but Spaghetti does manage to pick up that kill very, very easily.
It's 257 CP damage in on Koshka in that last, but the cheeky potential steal from Rascador almost had it, was just a half a second too late there on that to get that steal. That would have been pretty awesome.
If you were watching, you did notice that Legion managed to hold on to the biggest chunks of their damage for that last moment. So the goal man was going down very slowly until the last few seconds where they just instantly took it with as much burst as they could.
Yeah, look at Rev versus Castro. Rev is going to lose that battle against Cassandra, mainly because of the Arden Vanguard. So Castro comes in a bit late, going to get the kill on Cassandra, but now it's 1v2. Look at their yummy Captain Frenzy on Spaghetti. Who's going to go down? It's 2v1. Castro getting away, but hitting the full barrage. Gets melted. That's an ace.
Wow, very first ace of the game so far, and that's already with 1 turret down. I mean, 9 minutes in, I think things are looking really good for Legion so far.
13.2k to 18.6k, 16 to 4. Look at the time. As you said, it's 9 minutes in the game. They've had full run Spaghetti and FromSoft have full run of the jungle. They've been stealing so much gold. Spaghetti just absolutely melting Koshka, taking away any early game advantage. This is going to be tough for Rev and Castro and Jor, but it's not over till, it's over.
Poor Koshka on 23 CS though. I'm surprised she's even managed to finish an Aftershock. It's a really rough start.
But she's got the Aftershock. So now I think what they need to do is they need to focus in on their teamwork. They need to focus in on their engagements now. If your build's not going to muster up to what you want it to do, then you got to work on your teamwork. And you really need to focus in. Pick who they're going for, Spaghetti or Cassandra.
Look at that immediate burst onto Revenger. They're already chunking him down a little bit with 2 shots. I mean, if all-out teamfight breaks out, they're in trouble, especially with Cassandra poking them down so much right now.
Yeah, his build, he's a primary damage dealer. He's got the Sorrow Blade and he's got Lucky Strike, and his double down heroic perk gives him an automatic crit. So there comes the Hellfire Brew in on Rev, 365 damage. He's got to peel off. That's leaving 2v3. Spaghetti's also quite low as well, but he's going to pick up that healing minion, and they're going to try to take down his turret.
Yeah, just look at Cassandra using the max range right now to deal with anyone from Spectre that comes near him. Turret goes down, Spaghetti's still alive. There comes the gauntlet, with Castro being the only one trapped inside, and Revenger X joining them just at the wrong time. He's probably going to go down as well for his efforts here, but Spaghetti's very, very low, uses a reflex block. Suri Strike manages to just chunk down low enough for Ringo to finish it off before the end there.
And it was really key, a couple things there. Good recognition from FromSoft to get the gauntlet in on Koshka to separate Koshka. Koshka out of position in that aspect, actually. Shouldn't be that pulled that far forward. Cassandra also getting a nice Achilles heel onto Revenger X so that he couldn't actually chase Spaghetti too much because he got the kill in the end, but it resulted in his own death.
Yeah,
so a lot of good things there.
Same again from Spaghetti with the last minute reactions to secure a kill. And that's FromSoft showing off a little bit by going through the wall with the blood for blood.
Yeah, exactly. And it's amazing how much damage that Stormguard banner does. I'm always amazed. He can 1v1 almost anybody with that Stormguard banner and his Vanguard.
Yeah, Arden is definitely a very strong offensive support, same as Fortress. Provides a lot of damage as well as utility.
So they spent all their abilities to trying to get Cassandra down. They can get this turret, but they have to be really careful. Spaghetti's low because he took a little bit of hits from that gold miner, so they're going to take down this. But look at the Suri Strike. He's looking for Castro coming in.
And it looks like Revenger X is still using a lot of doing a lot of damage from the sidelines there. Spaghetti is going down, but there's a fountain, and with the death from above manages to zone them out, and it is FromSoft on top of Revenger X. Can he finish this off? There's a stun from Catherine, but he's using the Vanguard to try and get close.
Range with a punch. Oh, he's gonna hit his boots. Oh, he gets a punch in, but it's not enough.
He has nothing left now. I think that's gonna be it. He was stacking.
His Vanguard is up and his punch is up, but he's too far away. They're gonna go for Jor instead. Jor's no more energy now. Here comes Castro in trying to get the kill. Oh, really good gauntlet there. Almost trapped Castro. That would have been fantastic counterplay. But hey, the tank goes down, but the damage dealer survives, and that's exactly what you want to happen in that situation.
Yeah, when they were defending, when Spectre were defending that second turret, we did actually see Revenger had to body block for Catherine at one point, which I was going to point out, but things just started picking up so fast. Catherine was getting absolutely chunked down by the forward barrage, and Revenger had to step in front to try and block some of it before they lost Catherine.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Skye, and one of the reasons why people called Skye, really, really OP earlier when they hadn't made any changes to her, 1.12, 1.11 was because you have these heroes these supports that are supposed to be really tanky, like Catherine and like Finn, but then you get that barrage and you eat that full barrage with the CP Skye, and it just negates all of that, sort of, attributes of that tanky support, and you're seeing it right there.
Definitely. I mean, it's one of the hardest things to deal with when you're playing support. Koshka just making it away in the invisibility of the bush. Things are really close here, and Spectre are just holding on by the skin of their teeth. They still have that base turret. They've not managed to... Legion haven't managed to crack into the base yet, but with another gold mine going over in their favor, it looks like Spectre have an uphill battle ahead of them.
And and that's another reason why when you have to front a lot of this damage, that's also another reason why you're seeing Rascal Jor here actually overdrive his Stormguard, his B skill, so that he can give You reflect back 25% plus damage back to the enemy.
Now, I wouldn't really. I'm not sure about that one. I know the maxing B is the better decision right now, but against the Sky, that's not going to be doing a lot because since all the damage goes underneath the bubble anyway. If she could stun more often, that might have been a better counterplay idea because then she can chain it with Koshka jumping in. The gauntlet does come down from Ardent.
Oh, just Rascalator goes down. Look at the Mount Rev just goes down, and a lot of that actually comes from that crit now from Cassandra as well, rocking the Titan's Monocle and the Sorrow Blade. So you've got two really massive damage deals right now. You know, this is going to be really tough. Castro's going to go down, and that's going to be GG.
It is Cassandra in the backline here doing all the work. I mean, Spaghetti and Firmswift were just zoning out, but Cassandra's the one taking down turrets, killing anyone that he decides to turn on. It was just like, oh, you've been dealing with Koshka for a few seconds, let me turn on them and just kill them for a second.
Yeah, and you know, kind of ubiquitous fact in the backline because in the beginning, you know, the whole play was dominated by Spaghetti, but then, you know, it's kind of shifted towards the end where once he locked down that Tyrant's Monocle and got the full crit with the Sorrow Blade, it was just pretty much, he one Achilles shot and took you 50% health right off. And you could see that happening.
And just look at the build path for a second. Firmswift going with a signature move of having a heavy steel in his kit. And this is why he was being such a pest to the carries of Spectre.
Yeah, because he not only does he have that, but he also has, you get a little bit of crit with your Blood for Blood and also that Storm Guard. So, yeah, but, you know, again, it comes back to just how much they're dominating that whole entire game. You know, Spaghetti, you know, man of the match, in my opinion there, because of his early dominance, just took Koshka right out of the game. You know, like we mentioned before, really struggling just to get that Aftershock out with only 40 CS, not enough defense to cover anything, and absolutely melting from two really strong, you know, heroes that deal damage. That Sky and that. There you go.
Yeah, it was a really tough game for that Koshka. I mean, completely shut down by Spaghetti. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe try and force him out of that Sky pick. It was he's just so comfortable on it. Every time he even goes down, he manages to secure a kill off the back of it from like a last minute skill or something. So we do see